What's up, gamers? Well, here we are. What better game to do it with? I gotta call him out. Can't believe it. After all these years. Wow. And, it's pretty wild. I've been a fan of Angry Joe's for years. Been watching Angry Joe since I was still in school. So it is, it's a somber occasion. It is with no satisfaction or pleasure that I do this, but I gotta call out Angry Joe for that awful Dragon Age Veilguard review. So I don't know how long this video is gonna be, how long it's gonna take to run through all of the points here on this subject. I want to do a loop around the loop-de-loop. So YouTube is buzzing with the talk of the Dragon Age Veilguard review, rightfully so. The thesis, the theory, if you want to boil it down real quick, that I've been running with, which you probably haven't, but whatever, who gives a fuck, for posterity's sake, if you've been following along with the Gamers Theory 101 Facebook group, is that, mainstream media is dead. No kids watch TV anymore, really. Really, the last big gasp of mainstream media, I feel like, was the Marvel movies. And if you look up movie revenue versus the video game industry revenue, you're going to see that the video game industry dwarfs the movie industry like a dozen times. And half...
Hey, what's up?
Howdy. Half, I'm just going to say, hypothetically for the sake of argument, who knows, probably more. Might even be less, actually, if you think about it, but half the gamers are kids. I say it might be less because, kids grow up and become adults, and half of those people still play video games. So maybe, the number of adults altogether that were once gamer kids is bigger than the amount of kids playing video games at any one point in time. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to say half of gamers are kids. So mainstream media is dead, half of gamers are kids. They are using the video games get out of the way. I was able to, with a different car, a slower car, able to, have this inside lane to myself and get the shit going as fast as it would go and, maintain the circle. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it with this car, but we're going to fucking give it a shot. But half of gamers are kids, and if you look at that, if you look it up and see the difference in money generated by the video game industry versus the movie industry, it's 10 times, 20 times the size. Let's go to another spot here that I was having fun with, and I noticed some GTA type bullshit. So they're turning the same corporate. I mean, I feel like I'm making this video and laying all of this shit out that everybody already knows, as if I'm saying this shit to Angry Joe, and it's like, 50-50 chance he doesn't know any of this shit. Like, the other chance is way more fucking annoying. But, like, the other chance is that he does know this shit, and he wants to stay brand safe and apolitical and just not touch this shit and blah blah blah, all that kind of gay ass shit that I've heard from other creators. So that's super fucking dumb and annoying if he knows about all this shit and just wants to say brand safe and apolitical and all that gay shit. If he doesn't know all this shit, then that's one thing. But at the same time, it's like if he still at the same time, if he doesn't know all this shit, he wants to say brand safe and apolitical and all that bullshit and not fucking, get involved in between these two sides. It's just that because he doesn't know all this shit, he doesn't understand enough to be in the state of mind as to where he would say, fuck that staying brand safe and apolitical bullshit. And it's just really fucking wonky and weird. It was just super weird looking back. And I know I'm making this video a while after the fact, since his review and since all of the hubbub around Dragon Age itself. But it's got to be made. Somebody's got to do it. I guess it's going to be me, because I don't even see anybody really of his fan base in his comment section going, Angry Joe, what the fuck was that fever dream you just put out? So, yep. Little old me over here got to be the fucking one. Alright, let's do this again. Let's start over. At the bottom of these switchbacks. Little old me gotta be the one to fucking point this shit out and call out Angry Joe. I don't know, I haven't seen anybody else. Fuck, there's like one random channel that was calling Angry Joe out for some dumb crap. This is new territory for me because I've spent a long time as an Angry Joe fan defending him in the fucking comments section from all kinds of stupid shit. I mean, I remember the days when he was transitioning from making like constant video game reviews. I think it was like 2 a month or some shit like that, maybe 2 or 3. It was like a lot and it was crazy. But when he was going to like 1 a month and then doing like the movie reviews and shit. Now we're gonna wait a little bit here. This fucking asshole, this is some bullshit. This is that GTA bullshit. They need to make these cars like Oblivion or something. Oblivion characters, Fallout characters, for a certain radius. Like, this shit should not happen. That guy should not. You'll see. You'll see. But, no, you're gonna have to wait. Hey! Because every time I drive up this fucking shit, there's some asshole in the way, GTA style, perfectly to fuck up your drift. Guess we're gonna have to go. Like, they cannot let you get up this fucking switchback. That was a nice one. Without some fucking asshole being right in front of you. That was a fuck up. That was also a fuck up. Yeah, I can't believe I'm the one who has to fucking do this shit. And out of all, I mean, maybe somebody's out there going, you know, I used to be an Angry Joe fan, and I just can't believe that he fucking put me through this fever dream. So for context, everybody else on YouTube with common sense is looking at this Dragon Age Veilguard shit and going, what the fuck is that? Fuck is this shit? Gosh, to even have to go here. So if you don't know, in the Dragon Age Veilguard game character creator, you got the option to put motherfucking top surgery scars. Ooh, look at this. Oh shit. Oh! On your character. And the rest of YouTube convulsed, as they should, and reacted as they should, and crushed that game into dust as it should have been. And maybe people didn't go as far as they should have. Maybe people didn't dissect it as much as they should have. But the gamer resistance rose to the occasion and rejected that fucking bullshit. There was a whole series of these garbage nonsense games. Concord, Dustbin, Avowed, a few more, I can't remember the names. Some of these fucking games were taxpayer funded. They got money from the government to put this propaganda towards your kids.
Mm-hmm. You want something from me?
And thankfully, it's fucking garbage. A lot of these garbage games sold less than a few hundred copies. Hilarious. Good job, gamers. Spreading the word about this trash and fucking rejecting it. And out of like dozens of channels, Angry Joe was the only one to not point out this totally fucked character creator, the elephant in the room. Like, yeah, the writing is terrible. Yeah, the graphics are awful. Yeah, the gameplay's shit. I mean, I remember trying to get into Dragon Age back in the 360 days when they came out with the third one or whatever it was, Inquisition, I think. There was 3 of them at the time, and I got like all 3 of them, and I was like, these games, I don't know, they've just never been my games, never been my thing. But that's the reason why watching Joe's video, if you go on my gamer group and look back through all the other YouTubers' videos on the subject leading up to Joe's video and after the fact, you'll see what I mean. You'll be like, oh yeah, now I get it. Watching his video where he pretends the reason why the fucking, you know, I guess for the sake of being apolitical and staying brand safe and not getting caught up, doesn't want to get canceled or any shit like that, I don't know. But you'll be like, oh yeah, I see it now. This is like a fucking Twilight Zone episode. After watching, you know, a dozen different people acknowledge what the fuck the elephant in the room is with this video game, and then to watch Joe basically act like, yeah, no, it was just the crappy writing and the shitty graphics and gameplay. That's what did it. Not even gonna like, oh man. And having like a long drawn out 5 minute segment of just making fun of like the repetitive nature of some part of the writing at some point. Like, we gotta make a real spectacle of this as we dance around the fucking top surgery scars and the character creator. And the shit just calls into question, I guess. I don't know. Maybe not, because there's never been a situation like this before. I mean, this big revolt, this big wake-up call to the gamer community and subsequent revolt went kind of fast, There was all these games clearly in the works that were trash, and they intended on putting out and having us buy the bullshit and probably continuing on. And maybe they expected some people to reject it, but not to the degree where they're only selling a couple hundred copies of this crap. And, so over the course of maybe like 6 months or so, this has happened. This big gamer rebellion over this series of games that I've mentioned. And with his review schedule of like a game a month, and there being so many other bigger titles, I mean, that's part of it, right? That's funny, but that is part of it. Like, these games, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, this game is trash, so, and to the degree where only a few hundred copies are sold, it's not going to be on the blip in the radar. Joe does a longer style of review that takes like a month to make. By the time he would have made his review, basically, the shit's already over with. Everybody else has already made their videos on it and gotten rid of the shit, basically. So he just, like, luckily skates by, not having to touch any of this fucking trash, and really and like, he would have never been able to tell the difference or known that he would do this if this Dragon Age Veilguard franchise is like big enough. It's not some out of nowhere fucking franchise, you know what I mean? Like, not a starting new type deal like Concord or Dustbin. And like, I'm sure he didn't know what the deal was when he, like, it's just going to be on his mind to review it automatically, because it's Dragon Age, right? What the fuck? We'll see if we get another generation of these garbage ass woke games to the point where Angry Joe actually needs to review one of them and acknowledge the shit, you know? That's the thing, like I said, the Gamer Rebellion has already basically pretty much thoroughly crushed this fucking garbage without him. It's just sad that, like, we didn't get to see Angry Joe, you know, point this out, go through his Angry Joe routine, get the Angry Army on this shit. Fucking, it would have been the cherry on top of the victory cake for the gaming community. Let's see what this little shitbox got. It got guns? Oh, cool. And I just gotta call him out for it, because the whole I mean, first of all, like, it would be fucked up and out of place. Like first of all, just the character creator in this game by itself is fucked up and it's out of place. It's fucked up and out of place to be able to put a dick on this female character. You can do that. Like, why? Now, then add putting top surgery scars. Fucked up, gross, out of place. The most disturbing, heinous, disgusting aspect of the trans movement. And it's fucked up, disturbing, disgusting, and out of place in this cyberpunk game. You know, and I put the fucking dick on the female character for a play session just as a joke, like it's funny, you know, for like a session. But after like the third or fourth time that you've gotten in your inventory to switch outfits or whatever, now that's fucking stupid. In this game, I mean, I get, like, you don't got GTA animations, your animations are all fucked. You can't have a third person view of the fucking character. But you know, like, why I don't know, why go halfway towards Saints Row where you can basically have a naked character running around? I think there's a couple other games like Baldur's Gate or whatever the fuck, you can be walking around with your dick hanging out. But in this motherfucking inventory screen, for instance, if I was to take off the jumpsuit here, fucking, she'd be naked. But then outside of the inventory screen in the game, she's got underwear on, like, you know, automatically. But not the bra. Just, you know, bottoms. The point is like, that's fucking, it's like unnecessary. It's fucking disturbing. Like Fallout, for instance, you know, there's just automatically that set of fucking underwear that's on your character. It's just automatic. Like, Saints Row, it's not automatic, but you got the fucking, like, you can't have nothing in Saints Row. There's, like, the lowest you can go is, like, the little nipple pasty sticker shits that strippers have. And if you really want to cheat, you can match, you can change the color of them and match. Like, we're getting real deep into the motherfucking greasy potato chip bag of gamer bullshit here. But, you know, to just be flashed this fucking naked character, and maybe I'm going a bit Melanie Go Boom with my fucking, like, saintly shit here, right? But, like, it's just fucking wrong to be fucking flashed this shit all the time. And that's just a naked character. Like, so eventually I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna switch it back to normal, standard human female body, right? Like, because haha, funny, but after the first few times, you're like, alright, this is fucking. And that's just that. And that's like only halfway up the disturbingness scale. And it's arguably in a place that you could say it semi belongs in, at least for the theme of the game. We're talking about cyberpunk, futuristic, dystopian, city, body augmentation, all that kind of shit. So you could say it fits. The disgusting, brutal motherfucking implications. It's so fucking gross and disgusting and brutal and disturbing. And I know I've heard a dozen people say in a medieval fantasy setting like this, why wouldn't you just have some kind of a, like, I know like the Thieves Guild has a wizard that'll let you change how you look. Not that crazy level of shit, but you know, your face and hair and all that. Fallout has an auto dock that'll do the same thing. Basically just let you go through the character creator screen again. Normal character creator screen. But so, in a medieval fantasy setting, why the fuck wouldn't you have a wizard or a potion or some shit? For if you really feel the need to inject this shit into the fucking game, why wouldn't you have a wizard or a spell or a potion that would do it, that would just change your character into a female character? And that's what other people have said. Because that's just duh level common sense. That's duh level common sense to us, normal fucking people. I'm going to go a step further and say, and point out the elephant in the room, and just tell you, you know, stop for a second and think about just the fucking brutal, disgusting words fail me to describe how just nasty and evil that is. Medieval times. So how was it done? How was it done? Huh? Come on. Put two and two the fuck together. I really gotta say the words. You're in knights in shining armor, swords and battle axes time period. Medieval times. How did the woman get the top surgery scars? What kind of brutal ass, the courts, the king's doctor, medieval type surgery shit? It certainly fucking wasn't done in a sterile hospital setting. Think about it. Use your fucking brain here. The implications are profoundly sick. What kind of Skyrim iron dagger was used? I mean, just. And I've run through the motions and the thought processes and had conversations with about this enough times to where I'm less by it. But when the first time, like, the realization of it washed over me, I was almost about to be sick. Like, it truly is motherfucking disgusting to think about this medieval game, knights, plate armor, swords and shit. You fucking, like, I'm just thinking of some stereotypical medieval movie, apothecary surgeon Like, we're talking about the time period, like, the barbershop pole was motherfucking red and white stripes because the blood and the pus that ran down the gutter, because the barber was the only one with a sharp blade in the town enough to do surgery, so the barber was often the surgeon. The motherfucking plague doctors with the pointy nose mask filled with flowers because they thought, oh, the stinkiness in the air from the rotting bodies, the stinkiness itself is what gets you sick. So as long as you don't smell anything bad, you'll be fine. Like, this is the level of fucking shit that's going on in the medieval time period during, plate armor and having a sword days. So chick walking around with fucking scars on her chest and nothing else is that's just so fucking cooked. And, gosh. I mean, wow. What the fuck, man? Fuck these fucking people. Oh, you... the other side of the aisle, like, oh, you just hate women. No, fuck you. You hate women, asshole. This is a normal reaction of somebody who fucking loves women looking at some disturbing, disgusting shit. Fucking freak of nature, Hellraiser type shit. Gross. The fuck is wrong with you? How is that game not getting that fucking X rating or whatever the fuck that rating is that kills games? Like, I object to those games being treated the way that they do. I think you should be able to go down to GameStop and buy a modern version of Leisure Suit Larry. Fuck it. But you gotta be 18 in order to do so. You gotta have a fucking ID or whatever. I don't think top surgery scars or chicks with dicks like in Cyberpunk should be in a fucking normal M-rated game. Especially not the top surgery scars. The chick with a dick thing is kind of funny for like a little bit. But that just, ugh. It's fucking gross. So that's the, and that's the reeling kind of reaction to that shit, if you really think about it, that I have, and I think is normal and you should have. If you just haven't thought about it enough, or there's something wrong. Like, if you think that shit's okay, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. But, fuck that. And, like, nobody's fucking parents. I bring up the fact that half of gamers are kids. Nobody's fucking parents, mine certainly didn't, ever gave a fuck about the M rating on the box. Nobody was ever fucking, like, 18 wearing a sweater vest, coming home from GameStop with a fucking copy of Grand Theft Auto, like, your two shoes couldn't be more goody, going, oh, here I go, I'm so glad to have finally turned 18, I can't wait to play Grand Theft Auto for the first time, what the fuck, like, no, unless your dad is Ned fucking Flanders, you didn't wait until the appropriate fucking age to play fucking GTA or any other motherfucking game with an M rating on it. Like, it did not happen. Like, it did not happen. If my fucking grandfather bought me fucking The Suffering Ties That Binds and fucking Grand Theft Auto when I was a little ass kid, like 10, alright? If his old-timey ass was down, I just can't see it. And so, you're having kids who are way too fucking young to be thinking about any of this shit and the implications of all of it. Definitely too young to be being propagandized into thinking, oh, it's a great idea. Look at how happy these fucking people are who did this shit. No, fuck out of here. Shouldn't be. And I'm not saying like this is like taking advantage of people. Like, I'm not saying that parents shouldn't be able to go to GameStop and buy their kid Grand Theft Auto, but I tell you what, I'd much rather have my kid be playing fucking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas or Vice City or 4 or 5 than some game like Dragon Age Veilguard. I'll tell you that much. Or even really Cyberpunk, honestly. Just because, like, I don't recall. I think you see Trevor's dick for like 3 seconds. Do you even see it? I don't think you even see it. I don't know, my brain might have just like rewired itself and forcefully erased that image. I do not recall. I think you see it for like, whatever. Point is, you don't see no, oh, I didn't see her. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Keanu Reeves, where the fuck are you? I said, like a good neighbor, Keanu Reeves is there. I swear to God, I thought that was a blue car. I was gonna steal it. Now I feel real fucking dumb. Ah, shit. Here we go. Better get away from me. You'll have to fight my hallucination of Keanu Reeves.
All units in the area, order has been restored. All units instructed to return to patrol.
Oh! Ah. But yeah. Just straight up brutal shit. Implications are brutal. Oh, well, fucking nice of you to show up, huh, asshole? Huh. Implications are brutal. Disgusting, disturbing. Where's fucking, whatever his name is when you need him? Spooky, hilarious. I'm just disappointed. I'm just disappointed because it's like, I don't know, maybe he was bothered by it, right? And got repeat, brand safe, apolitical, gay shit, blah, blah, blah. You got all that. And he channeled his Angry Joe outrage and anger into the rest of the review. And so you're sitting here watching him flip out about this shit that nobody else gives a fuck about. Like, nobody else made it that far to be given a fuck about that shit. All that shit that he mentioned in his review is an afterthought. So it just came off like I'm currently actively, as I say this stuff, changing my script in my brain and sort of like tweaking it a little bit. Like, not to say that he's being disingenuous or anything, but like he's channeled like a workout. He's channeled the anger that he should have been using to talk about the fucking character creator and the shit itself and calling out the shit itself. Well, I hope the video game industry looks like it's course correcting. It looks like it's turning around. So I hope that happens. We've had past outcroppings of political corruptness, like back in the 90s, and it got squashed. Now we got this one. It's being squished. Hopefully, this is the last time for a very long time. Who knows? Maybe it's just like good to have this battle every once in a while. Keep us on our toes. But if they do this again, if we go through this big shit again, I don't know, man. I just hope if we continue to get more of these games, Angry Joe steps up to the plate, actually joins the rest of us out here calling this shit out. I don't give a fuck that I got a little dinky channel. Still gotta call that shit out because it's crazy. It's just crazy to me.
Excuse me, we aren't done here.
Well, go on the Gamers Theory 101 Facebook group page in order to see the historic battle against the woke mind virus infection of gaming, all documented and cataloged as best as I could through the various content creators who stepped up to the plate, and you'll get a sense of what I'm talking about. Like, subscribe, share the videos, but definitely go to that group, because it is like a historical documentation of this whole rise and fall of the woke mind virus infection of the gaming community. And it's only from here on out, it's only gonna get, like, we passed the peak of the battle a few months back, where I was just like reeling and rolling and like, yeah, wow, boom, fucking like posting these videos and listening to the rest of the content creators talk about the various things going on and watching the movement happen and the fight between the two sides and the worm turning and being like, yeah, we're winning, and fucking, you know, that whole thing peaked like a couple of months back. So, and it's starting to die down now, right? So from here on out, it's only going to be, you're only going to have to like scroll further and further through the fucking group in order to see these historic times represented through all these different YouTubers' videos. But yeah, like and subscribe and tune in next time for more gaming news and controversy.